Try this again. Tried vlogging yesterday and battery died. I'm still not smoking. Still on the e-cigarette. Been a month. And been hanging out on a e-cigarette forum. Kinda got reminded why I didn't like forums that much. So I mentioned that I've got panic disorder, and some guy uses that to attack me. Which is the same thing that happened on the archery forum. People are f***ing dicks. So I might try to get back into vlogging again. I'm not going to be hanging out on that forum all that much. I will still go there so I can try to keep obsessed with the electronic cigarettes, and that way hopefully I won't go back to smoking. I think today it's like 1,000 cigarettes not smoked. And I think I'm 2/3 of the way towards not having spent as much money as I've spent on the e-cigarettes. So I'm going to show you a little bit of new stuff around here. The new neighbors over there. First they're playing on the retaining wall. So I tell them to not play on the retaining wall, and had to pause while telling them that to yell at the dogs, which probably made me seem kind of psycho. So then, past week, little kid's been throwing rocks in the yard. At first I thought he might have been throwing them at the dogs, which would have been a major problem, but then I found bricks in the back by the garden and caught him throwing rocks up by the front at the house. Why do people think other people want to do with their kids? My bad neighbor out back has finally cut down his apple tree. Hopefully in the next few years he'll get around. It's taken him all year. Hopefully in the next few years he'll get around to cutting down the trees that are giving my trees disease. So now I have a new bad neighbor, but it's the kid who's a bad neighbor. The adult doesn't seem that bad. So did you notice this new tree? I'm getting sick of this cherry tree being diseased all the time. Plus I think since it's diseased all the time, it's getting borers in it. The only thing excuse I can figure out for all these sap holes. So I planted a wine sap apple here, and as soon as these cherries get ripe, I'm chopping that cherry tree down. I'm going to get another cherry tree like that one and put it over there. Where that tree is, that's an apple tree. I've tried twice there and it keeps on dying. So that's going to be a little cherry tree like that one, which shouldn't get too big to grow into the power lines or the phone line. So this should be a good American cider apple. It's May 6th. Where is it? I can't believe how big these apples are already. Hasn't been raining, and got rain last weekend and they just took off. Somebody chopped down my apple tree. I decided I didn't like this apple. Wasn't worth the space. So I took these off the graft I got from my niece's apple, cut this down and put them on there. put a lot on there, so I'd hopefully get one. Looks like I did get at least one to take. And hopefully, with that being an established tree, that should just shoot right up. On these branches I broke off on the espalier last year, I took and did a little saw cut. Come on, focus. I put a little saw cut above the bud and forced some branches out on it. So that one should be all basically to shape this year. Strawberries on the north side of the pyramid did good. The other ones, I think, got too dry. So I made this little drip hose which gets it good and watered. Got some nice strawberries. I'm gonna have to get my tin out here. I didn't notice I had one red. Raspberries. Wonder if I'll be able to get a gallon of raspberry wine this year. This one's actually got one single plum on it. Haven't done anything in the garden. Got some lettuce coming up, potatoes coming up. I need to re-roof. Wind blew my shingles off right before winter. I don't want to do that. That's too much work. I gotta do it soon or else it's gonna be too much hot work. That one's back to the top wire. The dogs ate it off last year. So this one should start producing next year and give me some shade on my bedroom window.